Hey y'all, so I just stepped out, taking my little break to do a quick Shonda's Corner. This one basically piggybacks off of my last Shonda's Corner, which was Talk to Your Kids. And this one is going to be entitled, basically, Educate Your Kids and Don't Teach Your Kids Bad Habits, I guess is the best way to put it. Kids only know what they hear, see, and are taught. So if you are that parent who has an iPhone and you're talking trash about Androids, I'm talking to you. If you are a parent that has all name brand stuff or glorifies all these name brand people, Louis Vuitton, Michael Kors, Jordans, I'm talking to you because you are the reason that your child is going to school picking on a kid that may be less fortunate, that may not can afford Jordans, that may not be able to have all these name brands and all this and all of that. And either way it goes, it's nothing wrong with whatever, but when you are like, oh, team iPhone, never touch Android, oh, we don't wear nothing but Jordans over here, and oh, we just rock Louis bags, and all we do is Gucci, your kids hear that, they see that, and that's the mentality that they develop, and then they go to school, and this child who maybe they just lost all their stuff in a fire, it may not even be that they can't afford it, maybe they're starting completely over, maybe the dad died and now the mom is struggling to take care of her children on her own. You never know what somebody is going through. So why teach your kids to have that mentality and then they're at school picking on other kids like, oh, you ain't got Jordans, or oh, you still got an Android, you ain't got no iPhone. My son has an iPhone. I'm sorry, not an iPhone, an Android. And I'm not buying him an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. I don't even like iPhone, but that's my preference. And that's really all anything in this world is a preference. You can keep trying to spend all this money and keep up with these celebrities who have it like that and wonder why you coming up short on your rent and everything else and you in crisis line. I know people, that's why I can speak on it. You spend all this money, you buy outfits, you buy Jordans, you buy Gucci, Louis, Prada, whatever, and then you're in crisis line for your rent or for your light bill. You got to learn how to pick a struggle. And when the reason I say this is because the little boy was like, "Oh, you don't have an iPhone," and my son's like, "Okay, yeah, whatever," because I've taught him it's whatever. Because chances are the people that are talking either don't have it themselves or just ain't got nothing better to do. And come to find out, the same little boy that was trying to pick didn't even have a phone. So it's just like, how can you say something about the type of phone that I have when you don't even have a phone? And it's not an either or thing, but it's just you don't even have the same thing you're trying to say that I don't have. It's just stupid. Like, and I say this because, again, going back to self-esteem and stuff, kids are starting to kill themselves and just do crazy things, shooting up schools, taking guns and knives and things like that to school, all because the child that you done taught to be materialistic is now taking that stuff into school and they're causing problems with other kids. All kids are not going to be strong. All kids are not going to be able to handle the criticism or the things that people say to them, which is our job as parents to build them up and teach them. But some are still not going to be strong enough to handle it. And that's where you as a parent come in and you teach them that these material things go away. You can buy the iPhone, that's great. But if you drop that phone and it cracks or breaks and there's no insurance or whatever, you still got to pay hundreds of dollars to get it repaired or get a new one. And for a child, they can't be held responsible for something like that. They're going to drop the phone probably 1,000 times. Even when it comes to clothes, you spill something on it, it might not come out, it's ruined. When it comes to a brand new car, a brand new home, you get into a wreck or that house get burned down, that's it. Like, you cannot be so hyped up over material things. Like, it's great if you can afford it or if it's just what you want, get it, but don't sit here and glorify it and make it like it's better than something else just because it might have cost more or whatever. Because just like a Family Dollar t-shirt can get burned up and ruined, so can a Michael Kors or Prada or Coach or whatever. Anything can be stolen, lost, damaged, or broken. Anything. So with that being said, you just have to be mindful. And I'm not saying don't go buy nice things or don't get the stuff or whatever. I mean, I have my own opinion about name brands and all of that, but I'm not even going to go there. It's fine. If that's what you choose to do, great. But don't sit here and like, oh, I only rock this and I only rock that and da 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 da, because that's what you're teaching your kids. And then your kids are going to school being bullies and causing other kids to harm themselves. And it's not just the clothes and shoes and bags and this and that and the phones. It goes all the way down to their maturity levels and growing up. My son still has his old Spider-Man lunchbox, and it's one of the tin ones, so it's probably going to be around forever. He couldn't find his regular lunchbox, so he packed his lunch in that. Of course, somebody, oh, who you still like Spider-Man? And so what? Y'all are kids. And not only that, when it comes down to it, it's just a lunchbox. It's just something that I brought my food in. And then these same kids were just talking about Spider-Man in the classroom and Avengers and all of that. But then it's like you want to try to turn it around and have something negative to say. Like, you got to teach your kids, man. You got to talk to them. You got to educate them. And don't build them up on materialistic things or let them be too grown too fast, because y'all just got to middle school. So y'all 10 and 11. And you got something to say? Like, I know 30 and 40-year-olds that still hyped off the Avengers. Like, that Avenger movie sold out, and it wasn't because of no kids. It was because adults were going to see it. So with that being said, like, why is a 10-year-old making a negative comment towards Spider-Man, when if you don't like him, that's cool, but you shouldn't have anything to say about somebody that's still okay with them. Like, my son's not old Spider-Man my whole room or nothing, but it's just like he didn't care one way or the other about taking the lunchbox because it's all he could find to pack his lunch in. He don't know what he did with his other one, which was just a plain lunchbox with his name on it or his initial or whatever. So, anyway, like I said, this whole thing is just educate your kids. Don't raise your kids on these material values to where they're going to work themselves to death to afford all this stuff that they really can't afford, and then don't have no food in the refrigerator. You got on Gucci down to the socks, but you ain't got no food. Or you got an iPhone, but you can't afford to pay your bills, or you can't buy your kids school clothes or a book bag. You at all the pickup spots, and trust me, go get the free stuff. Free is great, but get your priorities straight and teach your kids to have theirs straight. That is all. That is it. That's Shonda's Corner. Don't raise your kids on materialistic stuff. Don't teach them to be negative, and don't teach them to be bullies, because that's really all you're doing if you haven't realized. And it's sad, because I would hate to know that I taught my kid how to be materialistic or a bully, and then he goes and bullies somebody, and then that kid kills themselves. That murder is on your conscience. That blood is on your hands, because you didn't teach your kid better. Kids don't just learn this stuff out of the clear blue sky. They learn it from their parents, from their uncles, from their aunts. And everything can't be stopped, but I promise you, if each parent teaches their kids properly, the world can be a better place. These schools can be a better place. You won't hear about kids taking knives to schools, guns to school. You won't hear all of these different things that are happening. And I mean, I can't say for the mass shootings and all of that are happening. That could be more on the terrorist side and the racist side and things like that. But sometimes it goes back to bullying. Like, when you treat people a certain way, everybody has a breaking point, and then they come back and they're like, well, I don't care who's innocent, I'm just going to shoot the whole place up. So you really have to just think when you're doing this stuff, because little kids in elementary school shouldn't have knives and guns at school. They shouldn't even feel the need to take a knife or a gun to school. But anyway, I'm not going to talk y'all head off. That's Shonda's Corner. Follow me on Shonda's Got Talent Instagram. Follow me on Shonda's Got Talent. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Shonda's Got Talent. Follow my LaShonda the Author page on Facebook. Follow my Shonda's Got Talent Bivens page on Facebook as well. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, cool, I'm here for it. But bottom line, you need to teach your kids the right things and how to act appropriately and how to conduct themselves in school. They shouldn't be bullying people. Nobody should bully anybody about anything, whether it's clothes, shoes, phones, what they like, what they don't like. Like, you have to teach your kids that everybody's different. Like, artists are different, and so many of us are artists. And a lot of times when you are an artist, you're going to be really different because your mind just works different. When you're a writer, when you're a singer, when you're a dancer, when you are into comics or Marvel or anything that isn't just the norm, you just tend to be a little different. When you play instruments, you are different. We're all different, but something about an artist that's just a little bit more different, and it's nothing wrong with that. And we have to teach our kids to be themselves. It's really sad that there's this and that and popular and not popular, and these are the jocks and the geeks and these are the nerds, these are the losers. Like, nobody's a loser. Just because they might not be into football or basketball and they might whether write or be a scientist doesn't make them any different. There's somebody that can change this world, and they could be the one to make the cure for cancer or any of this stuff that we can't get away. I know I said I was going to stop, but I'm just on it. Like, man, I'm so passionate when it comes to the kids because I have a son and I'm teaching him daily, like, how to be better, how to grow up and make a difference in this world. And we all should be doing the same thing, and sadly we're not. Like, I get stories from my son, other kids, nieces, nephews, all the kids that are around me all the time about the stuff that they going through and how they feeling. You got little girls crying because they don't want to wear their hair a certain way. You got little boys feeling some type of way because they don't want to wear certain clothes. They don't want to wear a certain haircut. They want a certain haircut because it's what's cool, it's what's in, it's what fits. They don't even want to be themselves because they're too scared to, and that's not good. But we're going to call it right there. I got to get back. That's it for today. Again, follow me at Shonda's Got Talent, IG and Facebook. Thanks.